So this is my new painting. I've been working on this painting of Emma. Um, she's gonna be There's gonna be big flowers hanging up here, kind of crossing over the top. I'm gonna thinking of doing lots of neutral colors, browns and things in the background, which should make her skin tones and everything kind of be more vibrant, and it should be an exciting painting. Painting people is always the hardest thing ever. So I took a lot of time trying to work out this drawing, trying to get it just right. I don't know if I have it. Um, it sort of looks like her. The proportions, everything is working here, but we'll see when I get the paint on. When I start putting layers of paint on, I'm hoping I get it. It's got a lot of backlighting, which should kind of make her glow on all sides, and which should be interesting. So I'm going to make the negative space darker, while the outside backlighting streaming in is going to make her kind of halo glowy looking type of thing, and I hope that works. Backlighting is always difficult because you really don't have great shadows on the figure itself, which describes space and things like that, and so I'm setting myself up for trouble, but we'll see if I can get it to work. So it's exciting. It's getting there. What I have so far. As far as how her dress is going to go. I'm hoping this all works out. And it's just putting a value back here. This is probably not going to be the exact color that it's going to be, but it's close to the value structure I was thinking about. Is it being very dark and then having this backlit filter light coming through. And I'll probably add more warmer colors in here as I go, but I'm thinking this is going to get me started, and then that'll help me judge how I'm going to do the figure, which I'm probably going to work on. I want to bring these flowers that are going to be down here up into the figure, and try to keep it kind of loose to add a more of a sense of light coming through, hitting those flowers. Hopefully that works. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but I'll work that problem out as I go. But it's just a matter of getting some values in here. And I'll play with color more later. So I've been working on Emma's face and shoulders here, and I have that just about where I want it. I'm trying to get the feeling of sunlight shining through her hair and it frizzing out, because she's got this flyaway hair sometimes, and it's kind of fun. And so I'm just playing with it. I started out having just real safe tans and tones into it. Now I'm adding lots of reds and oranges and yellows into the hair, and that's given me a better feeling of the sun hitting it, and that's what I want. I want really strong feeling of filtered sunlight, backlit somewhat coming through her hair, and then which creates this, so her face on this side and stuff are all in shadow, but I'm trying to get the color here right. And I want some warm colors in here to kind of make like everything's, the light's wrapping around her and kind of glowing, which will be fun. And if I can pull that off. Let's see. So I'm adding some oranges and things like that into the skin tone, and it's dried a little bit overnight now, and so I'm kind of having to repaint some of it to get it to freshen up again. And I'm just adding very thin glazes over the top to modify this color just a little bit, just ever so slightly. So I'll zoom you in so you can see how this looks. Okay. So now it's her face. So I'm pretty far in this one. I'm thinking I'm just about done. There's a few little touches I want to do to the face. There's a couple little shadows I want to add, but I would say this is done. I was going to put a bunch of flowers in here, and I thought it's just getting way too busy with all this movement and action in here, and I didn't want to, it's already detracting from my granddaughter Emma, but so I decided just to leave this just more simple shapes, and so hopefully the the track of your eye will go from Emma to these flowers to the water pouring down to these flowers and back to Emma, and that's kind of how the composition should be working. In this one, it's more circular, and it's, yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I wish I could figure out how to do skin values and stuff and have more depth to it, and that all has to do with doing glazing and things, and I just don't have that experience with that. So this is as good as I can get it, and I'm fairly happy with it. I love these lilies here. I have a whole bunch of these tiger lily type things. They're just really fun and beautiful. These are a group of daylilies. None of this really exists in reality, but this is all kind of made up and just added in. And so it's a fun little cute painting. It's not necessarily a landscape. It has very narrow depth of field to it. It's very narrow depth, and I have a tendency, it just makes life a lot easier. If I was doing a landscape, you know, like this last landscape I was doing, you know, this last landscape has a lot of depth to it, which adds a lot more complication and a little harder to do. But, so it just makes life easier. You know, it's a simple, very simple composition. So I'll play with her skin a little bit and see if I can add a little more, um, you know, refinement to it. But otherwise, I would say this one's just about done. Now I'll zoom in. The color here is just a little off on the camera, but essentially it's, you know, it's pretty close. So you come down, you know, you see these flowers. Which are pretty loose. I didn't put a lot of time into it. And then come down and look at these flowers. You know, and then come back up. And you see the whole thing. So it's a fun little painting.